In the volatile heart of the Middle East, where tensions run high and the fate of nations hangs in the balance, the F-16I fighter jet, Israel's frontline guardian, takes to the skies. As the world watches, this extraordinary aircraft, embedded in the heart of the conflict, redefines the very essence of modern warfare. But what conflicts is this Israeli fighter jet currently engaged in, and how is it performing on the battlefield? What are the top-secret features integrated into this formidable warbird that give it an edge in combat scenarios? And most importantly, can this advanced fighter aircraft truly dominate the skies? Well, let's find out. The F-16I Sufa, also known as the Storm, is a modified version of the F-16D Block 50 and Block 52 fighter and ground attack aircraft. It has been specially upgraded with advanced avionics and weapon systems to meet the specific needs of the Israeli Air Force. Back in 2001, Israel ordered 50 F-16I aircraft and later agreed to get an additional 52 in September of the same year. The Israeli Air Force opted for a two-seat configuration for all the F-16I aircraft, part of a production program known as Peace Marble 5. This marked the fifth time Israel had acquired F-16s, bringing their total fleet to 362, making it the largest fleet of F-16 fighters outside the United States. What makes the F-16I stand out is its ability to carry removable conformal fuel tanks. The bumps you see on the sides of the plane are conformal fuel tanks, which are provided by Israel Aerospace Industries, also known as IAI. These tanks can hold an extra 450 gallons of fuel and are attached to the upper part of the aircraft's fuselage. The great thing about these tanks is that they don't significantly affect the aircraft's agility or flight performance. Instead, they extend the plane's mission range and how long it can stay in combat. They can be used for different types of missions, both for attacking targets on the ground and for air-to-air combat. Plus, they can be easily removed to free up space for more weapons. When it comes to armament, Israeli F-16s are armed with the Python 5, which is considered one of the most advanced air-to-air missiles globally. This missile can lock onto its target Eve. The cockpit of the F-16I is designed to accommodate an onboard weapons officer who sits behind the pilot. This setup makes the aircraft more effective in challenging conditions, like at night or in bad weather, and during high-threat missions. It's also helpful for training. Equipped with a powerful Pratt & Amp Whitney F100 PW229 engine, the F-16I has undergone several modifications, allowing it to reach a maximum takeoff weight of 23,582 kilograms. One special thing about the F-16I is that it can shoot down other planes from up to 50 kilometers away using the AMRAAM missile. Its radar, made by Northrop Grumman, is the best one the Israeli Air Force has. Now, the Israeli F-16I is a vital part of Israel's strategy to protect itself. This aircraft is capable of carrying out retaliatory strikes across the Middle East. It has a longer flight range, which means it can attack targets deep within Iran without needing to refuel. Some people have even suggested that the I in F-16I stands for Iran, but it actually stands for Israel. Despite its high cost of $4.5 billion, Israel believes it's a good investment. The F-16I planes are based in the Ramon Air Base in the Negev, and this project has helped boost development and business in that area. The F-16I replaced some older planes in the Israeli Air Force, like the A-4 Skyhawks and F-4E Phantom IIs, which were from the 1960s and 1970s. When they showed the plane to the public, Israel's defense minister Shaul Mofaz said, "I look at the plane and it's strong and impressive, and I hope it will help us find peace." Now let's talk about Ukraine's quest for F-16I fighter jets. For some time now, Ukraine has been saying they really need F-16 fighter jets to make their air defense stronger, and it looks like they might get what they've been asking for. The United States, the US, is going to help train Ukrainian pilots to fly these F-16 fighter jets. These planes are currently being used by European countries, so Ukraine might get some of these used F-16s. But here's the thing, Europe isn't the place with the most F-16 fighter jets outside the United States. President Joe Biden had a meeting with other leaders from a group of countries called the G7. He told them that he was okay with this plan to train Ukrainian pilots to fly the F-16s. This is a big change because before his administration said Ukraine wasn't ready for these planes, or that it would take too long to make a difference in the war. Belgium, Denmark, and Norway are also thinking about giving F-16s to Ukraine. These countries, along with the Netherlands, have around 125 of these fighter jets. But guess what? The place with the most F-16s in the world, other than the US, is not in Europe. It's actually in the Middle East. The second, third, and fourth countries with the most F-16 fighter jets in the Middle East are Israel, Turkey, and Egypt. Like we said earlier, Israel alone has a whopping 362 of them. To put that in perspective, the Netherlands has about 24 F-16S, but they're getting rid of them to make way for new advanced F-35 Lightning II stealth jets. Denmark has around 30 and Belgium has roughly 40. Norway used to have 64, but they replaced them with shiny new F-35S in 2022. Some European countries like Poland have 48 F-16S, but they may consider transferring them once they have F-35S operational. Greece has a larger fleet of 83 F-16S, but they might hesitate to share them due to potential threats from Turkey. Israel once attempted to sell 12 used F-16S to Croatia for $500 million, but the US opposed the idea, as Israel had upgraded these planes significantly over the years. Other Middle Eastern countries also have F-16S, like Jordan, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. However, sharing them with Ukraine seems unlikely due to political and strategic considerations. The UAE's decision not to buy F-35S further suggests they may be less willing to part with their advanced Desert Falcon planes. Iraq has some F-16S they rely on, especially after the war in Ukraine disrupted the supply of parts for their Russian-made helicopters and planes. Even though President Biden's decision is promising for Ukraine, acquiring F-16S from the Middle East seems unlikely, leaving Europe as the potential source for these fighter planes. Now let's shift our focus to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and discuss how the F-16I is being utilized in the current battle. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has a long history, going back to the late 19th century. It became more intense in 1947 when the United Nations proposed a plan to divide the British Mandate of Palestine into separate Arab and Jewish states. In 1948, Israel was officially established, leading to the First Arab-Israeli War. Israel won that war in 1949, but it resulted in the displacement of around 750,000 Palestinians. The territory was divided into three parts: the State of Israel, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. Fast forward to early October 2023, a new conflict erupted between Israel and Hamas, an Islamist group that controls Gaza. Hamas fired rockets into Israel, infiltrated southern Israeli areas, and took hostages. This led to Israel declaring war against Hamas and implementing a siege on Gaza. The conflict has involved daily rocket attacks, with Israel instructing Palestinians in northern Gaza to evacuate due to the possibility of a ground assault. Meanwhile, Gaza faces severe shortages of essential resources like water and fuel due to an Israeli blockade. In this conflict, the Israeli military, with a substantial force of 360,000 soldiers and a range of equipment, is primarily targeting the Gaza Strip. They use tanks, armored vehicles, and special forces, along with rocket attacks and air assaults, including the use of F-16 fighter jets. The Israeli Navy is also involved, targeting Hamas locations along the Gaza coast. The situation is complex and escalating, with concerns about the conflict spreading to other neighboring regions. The F-16I from Israel has become a crucial asset in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. As tensions persist, the role of advanced military technology in the region remains a critical point of discussion. What are your thoughts on the use of advanced military aircraft like the F-16I in conflicts? Share your views in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more.